What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most requested reviews analysis, so stick around. You don't want to miss this. But before we get into that, if you're considering a purchase, don't miss out on this incredible discount available right now. Check the description below and the pinned first comment. Now, let's not delay any further and jump right into the details.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer wanted to use this scooter for a period before writing a review. Overall, this client found it to be a decent scooter, considering its cost. While our reviewer, weighing approximately 180 pounds, didn't achieve the advertised range on a full charge, even on flat surfaces, and using the lowest speed setting, they still managed a respectable distance of 12 to 13 miles, depending on riding style. Assembly was remarkably straightforward, essentially just attaching the handlebars. The scooter also folds easily, with a simple lever mechanism securing it in a compact position. However, this client strongly emphasizes the crucial need to adjust the brakes upon assembly. The brakes arrived overly tight, requiring adjustment with a bicycle tool, which they recommend having on hand. The reviewer provides detailed instructions on how to adjust the brake cable tension to achieve optimal braking performance, transitioning from an overly aggressive stop to a smooth, controlled deceleration. Correct brake adjustment, they stress, is essential for both safety and a more enjoyable ride, contradicting some negative reviews regarding the braking system. The manual, though not ideal, does mention the need for brake adjustment. Operation is intuitive and doesn't necessitate an app. A single button controls the power and speed settings, clearly indicated on the display. A quick double press activates and deactivates the headlight. As expected, performance decreases on inclines. Steep hills will pose a challenge for this scooter. The scooter's build quality seems sturdy, and the solid tires offer decent traction on various surfaces, though performance is best on asphalt. While capable of handling gravel and loose dirt, it is not ideal for grass. Finally, this client offers a suggestion for future models, incorporating a handle or mechanism to facilitate one-wheeled maneuvering while folded. This would improve portability, particularly in situations like navigating public transportation. Currently, they manage this by holding the rear wheel and balancing the scooter on its front wheel.
Excellent. Let's find out what our next reviewer has to share about their experience.
This reviewer found this scooter to be an excellent value, exceeding expectations in several key areas. The scooter's performance significantly surpasses its price point, offering a range and speed comfortably exceeding advertised specifications. Our reviewer experienced a noticeably smooth ride, attributing this to the surprisingly effective 10-inch solid tires, which mitigated vibrations and bumps effectively despite the absence of suspension. Braking performance was also lauded, with the rear disc brake providing ample stopping power. While the front brake's engagement was less noticeable, the combined braking system proved reliable. However, this client acknowledged several compromises inherent in the scooter's budget-friendly design. The accompanying app, though functional, lacks sophistication. Its interface is somewhat unintuitive, offering only basic speed mode selection and battery level indicators, omitting features such as adjustable charging limits, which our reviewer considers important for optimal battery lifespan. The owner's manual's insistence on consistently keeping the battery charged to avoid potential damage from complete discharge was deemed overly cautious and indicative of a less-than-ideal battery management system. Minor durability concerns were also raised, specifically regarding the flimsy rubber flap protecting the charging port, which our reviewer anticipates may tear with repeated use. Finally, the relatively new presence of the manufacturer in the market raises questions about long-term support, parts availability, and overall customer service, aspects that only time can truly assess. Despite these shortcomings, The initial positive impression of this scooter's performance and value remained strong. However, a significant update to the review after 2 years of use revealed a critical failure. The scooter abruptly stopped functioning, displaying a persistent error message and shutting down intermittently despite showing sufficient battery power. This experience dramatically altered the reviewer's perspective, leading them to advise against purchasing the scooter for long-term reliability. The initial value proposition is ultimately overshadowed by the serious malfunction experienced after extended use.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer, having previously owned a 350-watt scooter, provides a comparative review of this new 500-watt model. While both scooters successfully navigated steep inclines, a significant difference in performance was noted. The 350-watt scooter ascended hills at a speed of 4 miles per hour, whereas this 500-watt scooter achieved a much faster 7 to 8 miles per hour. This considerable increase in speed is attributed to the more powerful motor and its increased torque, further enhanced by the usefulness of the 3-mode settings. However, despite the superior power, this client observed a noticeable difference in stability. The 350-watt scooter felt significantly more stable than this newer model, which exhibited some noticeable wobble at times. A major concern highlighted by our reviewer centers around the braking system. This scooter's brakes are exceptionally responsive, bordering on overly sensitive. A sudden, hard braking maneuver can easily lead to an abrupt stop, potentially causing the rider to be thrown from the scooter. This contrasts sharply with the gentler braking experience of the 350-watt scooter, which allowed for cruise control and effective regenerative braking on downhill slopes. Although this 500-watt model also incorporates regenerative braking, its effectiveness in slowing the scooter downhill is noticeably less than its predecessor. Furthermore, the advertised app functionality, essential for enabling cruise control, is limited to Apple devices, excluding Android users. Our reviewer had to borrow an iPhone to download and utilize the app. Despite these shortcomings, this client found the scooter to be a worthwhile purchase, especially considering the comparable cost to their previous scooter. The increased power and responsive acceleration are undeniably positive aspects. However, the aggressive braking system presents a serious safety concern. While some users have suggested adjusting the brake lines to alleviate the problem, our reviewer emphasizes that this doesn't fully mitigate the jarring effect of hard braking. For new riders, this client strongly recommends starting with the lowest mode setting and practicing with the regenerative brakes to minimize reliance on the potentially hazardous disc brakes. They further advise significantly reducing speed before ascending hills, relying on momentum and gentle regenerative braking, rather than the abrupt force of the disc brakes to manage downhill speed. Failing to heed this caution, our reviewer concludes, could result in a forceful jolt capable of causing the rider to lose control. That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Let's chat in the comments. See you in the next one.